رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. تزينت بك الأرض والسماء والقلب بات يهتف لك بالصلاة. أحسن الناس سيد ومصطفى خير الورى صلى عليك الرحمن. فيك الجمال والأمانة والوفاء عطر قد فاح نور عمر في الآفاق. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. جئت لنا خاتما للمرسلين بدر الدجى رحمة للعالمين. أبا الزهراء كم أشتاق لنلتقيه وأرى عينيك في الجنة تحت النخيل. فيك الجمال والأمانة والوفاء عطر قد فاح نور عمر في الآفاق. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. تزينت بك الأرض والسماء والقلب بات يهتف لك بالصلاة. أحسن الناس سيد ومصطفى خير الورى صلى عليك الرحمن. فيك الجمال والأمانة والوفاء عطر قد فاح نور عمر في الآفاق. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. جئت لنا خاتما للمرسلين بدر الدجى رحمة للعالمين. أبا الزهراء كم أشتاق لنلتقيه وأرى عينيك في الجنة تحت النخيل. فيك الجمال والأمانة والوفاء عطر قد فات
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are connected to Radio Al Ansar, Durban 90.4 and Peter Marisburg 105.6 FM. Welcome to the Peter Marisburg Pulse Show, and I'm your medical presenter, Shubnum Ismail. And today at the Peter Marisburg studio at 240 Ottoman Road, we are going to be tuning in on this Saturday to actually explore strategies for maintaining good mental health and well-being. We sometimes face challenges at work, deal with bereavement, and navigate society pressures. And these experiences can take a toll on our mental health, making it essential to prioritize well being. On today's show, we'll delve into practical tips and expert advice on managing stress, building resilience, and fostering a positive mindset. We'll discuss ways to maintain a healthy work life balance, cultivate self care, and nurture meaningful relationships. We're thrilled to introduce Roxanne, a seasonal healthcare professional with over 14 years of experience in both the acute rehabilitation and wellness centers. So, Roxanne's remarkable journey from junior administrator to regional quality manager is a testament to her dedication and expertise. Her extensive experience with patients and the public has given her a unique perspective on mental health. And October, listeners, is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, Roxanne will share her insights on how to offer effective systems for mental health. She'll provide valuable tips on wellness and recovery. Drawing from her vast experience in the healthcare industry, she will also share her expertise, which we're going to explore today, on the promotion of well being and how we can support each other. So, Roxanne's passion for mental health awareness and her commitment to delivering high quality care makes her the guest for discussion today. So, let's engage with Roxanne and share those experiences, and let's welcome her to the Pulse Show so that we can discover how we can work together to prioritize your mental health and wellness. Roxanne, welcome to the Pulse Show.
Good morning, Shabnam. Good morning, listeners at Alansar. I'm very excited to be here this morning.
It's great to have you here in Pietermaritzburg. I know that you travel between Pietermaritzburg and Durban due to your work requirements. So it's great to have you with us. We're going to dive straight in. So, can you tell us, Roxanne, what is mental health and why is it essential to prioritize one's well being?
Okay, so mental health affects how we think, feel, and act every day. It it influences how we handle stress, make choices, and build relationships. Prioritizing mental health is just as important as for caring for our physical health. Because when our minds are healthy, we are better equipped and we are balanced, and we live balanced, fulfilling lives.
Can you tell our listeners what are some of the conditions with mental health?
Sure. Some of the most common conditions include anxiety disorders, depressive bipolar disorders, substance use disorders. These can affect people's emotions, concentrations, energy, and motivation, often making daily tasks and relationships feel overwhelming. The good news is that with the right treatment and support, recovery is absolutely possible.
There's so much of stigma around mental health. Sometimes if an employee goes and tell the employer, I'm facing X, Y, and Z, it's that anxiety. I'm now obviously labeled as somebody incompetent. Can you probably give us some information on how we can disseminate the stigma attached to mental health awareness?
Sure. So people can start by talking about mental health, the same way that we talk about physical health. When people start sharing their stories, it helps others realize that they're not alone. At Itheku Wellness Hospital, we encourage awareness campaigns and open discussions in schools, workplaces, and and communities to normalize asking for help.
And how do we diagnose mental health?
Okay, so diagnosis usually begins with thorough assessments, which includes clinical interviews, observations, and sometimes psychological testing. Our psychiatrists and psychologists looked at symptoms, history, and how these impact daily functioning before deciding on a diagnosis.
Okay. So, in terms of the most effective treatment approaches for mental health, that we obviously looking at therapy, medication, etc. Can you elaborate a little bit about your industry and what sort of therapies and how you guys action behind the scenes?
So we use a combination of evidence-based therapies such as cognitive behavioral therapies known as CBT, dialectical behavioral therapy known as DBT, and medication when needed. At Itheku Wellness, we use a holistic approach. Our treatment plans include medical care, therapy, life skills training, and wellness activities to support long-term recovery.
So, in a nutshell, you guys have pockets of excellence for personalized treatment.
That's correct.
Awesome. So let's take a step back. Before they get to your facility, they obviously get diagnosed or they speak to somebody that actually identifies, okay, this person is going through possibly depression, maybe through a bereavement, etc. So who can refer to you? Can they just walk in or do they normally get referred by a doctor?
So most of the time they get, so when the patient goes to the GP and the GP says, listen, there's something not right with the patient, they would actually send the patient for further management into our facility. So 9 times out of 10 patients get referred via a GP to the hospital. If the patient, however, does not have a GP, we do have a GP part of our MDT team that can assess the patient and then give further management if needed. So if they need in-hospital care or out-of-hospital care, we can assist.
Can you elaborate further about your medical professionals that work at your facility and the programs? So how do they tailor make a program and develop a treatment regime for your patient?
So, Shubnam, every person is different, and every person's mental health is different and it's unique. We have a personalized plan, and it's tailored to each patient's symptoms, strengths, and goals. It may combine therapy, medication, lifestyle, guidance. We regularly review the progress and adjust to ensure that we get the best outcome.
Speaking about best outcome, I actually work at a rehabilitation center, but more physical rehabilitation. And one thing that's really effective is that we get the families to be part of the journey at the beginning of that mission, and that has a positive outcome. And in terms of your facility, how is the integrated program beneficial to the families? And can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Sure. So, family, we believe that the patient's loved ones play a very important role. So, family and friends provide emotional support and encouragement. We often include them in the psychoeducational sessions to help them understand the condition and learn how to offer practical support without judgment.
We spoke earlier about the stigma touched, and it is such a sensitive topic today because people shy away from talking about what's going on, and I think it's just a society pressure. But in terms of confidentiality, what sort of resources or advice would you give to our listeners today to maintain confidentiality with somebody going through possibly mental health, and the condition itself is quite large in different categories? What would you advise our listeners?
So, confidentiality is vital for trust. And however, with the patient's consent, we involved loved ones appropriately. We also educate families about boundaries and how they can support the recovery while respecting the patient's privacy.
And obviously, that therapist is key. I mean, that person is working to get you out of your depression or obviously your overdose. I'm assuming that you do see patients coming in with some drug abuse or possibly people that have tried to commit suicide. Do you guys see those sort of patients?
So, we do see patients that have depression, anxiety, stress, burnout, things like that. We are able to treat all those type of patients.
Do you feel that the numbers are increasing in KZN?
The numbers have been increasing, and that is why we need to make the awareness known, that mental health is real and help is readily available.
Okay, that is very important, listeners, that help is always available. There is resources. Speak to a friend, speak to a healthcare worker. Your life is important to us. And that is why we are talking about mental health today, because we are prioritizing you. In terms of the professionals that you work with, What sort of approach do they use in terms of the patient's well-being and getting them to actually work towards becoming a better you?
So the choice depends on the condition, and each patient is obviously seen in an individual case. So it depends on the patient's personality and the preferences. For example, CBT is effective for anxiety and depression, while DBT helps with emotion regulation and self-harm behaviors. We continuously evaluate what works for each patient.
The next question I feel is very important because being in healthcare for such a long time, I've seen this firsthand. And we're going to talk a little bit about medication. You know, people say, go and have this sort of pill, it's going to calm you down, especially now that our learners are going through matric, an exam.
Yes.
And maybe you can share your expertise with us and how we can manage that just now. But can you explain the benefits and limitations of medication? Because what I've seen sometimes is overuse can become addiction. And also, certain medication can affect a patient's cognitive mindset. They can either be slower, they can be more drowsy. Can you just elaborate about the medication usage?
Sure. So medication can be life changing, and maintaining symptoms like mood swings, anxiety, especially when combined with therapy. However, it's not a one size fits all, and all solutions may take time to find the right type and the right dosage. Lifestyle and therapy remain essential as part of the program.
And I'm assuming that you have a practitioner that obviously is skilled enough and accredited to give the right medication and the
Yes.
right dosage.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So, listeners, today we are talking on a very important topic. It is World Mental Health Awareness Month. So, stay with us as we explore strategies for maintaining good mental health and well being. We'll be right back after the short break. So, keep listening.
Ansar. Checkstar, our service makes the difference. From the butchery to the bakery, the deli to fresh fruit and vegetables, our departments are ready to serve you with quality and care. Celebrate your 11th birthday with the shopping experience you deserve. Only at Checkstar. Checkstar really cares.
Welcome to X Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park 202 Brickfield Road.
Okay.
Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
It's the massive clearance sale at Balwas Furniture, Pietermaritzburg. Sale starts 23rd October. Doors open at 7:30 a.m. Get the luxurious Dignorini pillow top king bed for only $2,999 on each window. 100 customers can upgrade their room with a double Itheku upholstered headboard and 2 matching pedestals. $499 while stocks last. T's and C's apply. Balwas Furniture, Pietermaritzburg, 439 Victoria Road. Balwas, where shopping is fun and you are number one.
Domusad. Join Razia Rangage, Sahir Basta, Salma Kazi, and Siraj Basta on Saturday, November 1st, as we broadcast live from Checkers Saxony Westwood Mall from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Durban's largest Checkers store with a halal certified butchery, bakery, and deli. Bring your friends, family, and neighbors too. There's loads of fun and savings to be had by all. Mark your calendar. Checkers Saxony Westwood Mall, November 1st. See you there.
Doctors and guests on a medical files program will help you with any medical problems you have by giving you advice on air. However, they do not have your full medical history and they have not seen you. Please verify the advice given to you on air with your doctor who knows you better. Neither the doctors nor Radio Al Ansar will be held responsible for any ill health caused by the advice given on Radio Al Ansar.
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا من مكة حبيبي نور
سطع المدينة من صلى صلاته إذ حل صفاته يا بخت اللي تضل ماشي يشفع له في مماته محمد نبينا بنور هدينا من مكة حبيبي نور سطع المدينة من صلى صلاته واتحلى صفاته يا بخت اللي في ظله ماشي يشفع له في مماته يا إمامنا يا أمين يا سند للمسلمين يا حبيبي يا محمد يا ابن عبد الله
You're listening to a live broadcast from Radio Al Ansar, Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
طول حياتي وفي صلاتي بدعي صلي وراه محمد نبينا بنور هدينا من مكة حبيبي نور سطع المدينة من صلى صلاته وحل صفاته.
And welcome to the Peter Pulse Show. We are diving back into discussion on mental health, a topic close to our hearts. And joining me today is our special guest, Roxanne Rajaram. She is going to be sharing her expertise and insights on maintaining a good mental health and well-being. Welcome to the show, Roxanne.
Thank you, Shubnum.
As we mentioned to the listeners earlier, Roxanne has vast experience over 14 years in the acute rehabilitation and wellness centers. So her remarkable journey from being an administrator, humble beginnings, and growing into a fully fledged regional quality manager, she is testament to her dedication and expertise. And her extensive experience with patients and the public is what brought her to the show today to share how we can improve our mental health and well-being. So Roxanne, tell us, obviously at your center, in terms of the patient's admission, can you give us a scenario of the facility and the expectation, how you guys match improvement when it comes to mental health and wellness?
Sure. So, our hospital is an adolescent and adult hospital. We are a Muslim-owned hospital, and we are a 100% halal facility. We have a self-sufficient adult unit and a self-sufficient adolescent unit. So anybody between the ages of 12 and 17 can be admitted into our adolescent unit. The unit is completely self-sufficient, so it's a completely different entrance. They have their own set of nursing, their own kitchen. Everything is self-sufficient, so they do not mix with our adults. Adults, we able to admit from the ages of 18 upwards.
And what sort of cases you see? I mean, can you differentiate in terms of the adult and a little bit about obviously the teenagers that come through? What sort of issues do you normally see that are common?
So, Shabnam, mental health is very important, and a lot of people don't like speaking about it. And when patients come through, each patient journey is different. We see a lot of bullying that's taking place with the younger generation. We also see stress from school, stress from home. With adults, it's depression, anxiety, burnout. Burnout is real. So we admit a lot of patients that go through all of those things.
And as we were speaking earlier, Roxanne, it's reality that corporate burnout and wellness, we'd like to encourage you to take that time out and get your mental health in check. It's important that you focus on being resilient and focusing on you. In terms of your multidisciplinary team, which we spoke about as well, how do you track progress before you discharge your patient?
Okay, so at Itheku Wellness Hospital, we have a multidisciplinary team which comprises of a doctor, a psychiatrist, psychologist, social worker if needed, dietitian if needed, physiotherapy if needed, and occupational therapy. So when the patient comes in, they would get assessed by all the disciplines and treatment would begin. Our team sits together, discusses patient's progress. They have family meetings with the family and discuss discharge planning. So discharge planning is very important because we cannot just discharge a patient if the patient's not ready to go home. So that's very, very important, is the family being involved in the discharge planning.
Excellent. And in terms of self-care strategies, I would like to also get to know some tips on how to manage our mental health.
So managing mental health is very, very important, and it also deals with lifestyle. Lifestyle changes, and exercise, nutrition, sleep, social connection play all important roles in brain health. Small changes like regular walks, balanced meals, and reducing screen time can significantly boost mood and resilience.
Yes, listeners, make time for yourself. Screen time. I see more people spending more time on their cell phones,
Yes.
not shutting down. The brain needs that rest in
Yes.
order for you to actually bounce back and be a better version of you.
Yes.
In terms of mental health and professionals, how do they support patients in developing healthy habits? And obviously, cell phone usage and not spending adequate time on. There's so much of natural vegetation and hikes, and Pietermaritzburg and Durban and KZN, and it's so beautiful with so many places to see and do. Can you elaborate and give us some sort of tips that our listeners can do in their spare time?
Sure. So we incorporate wellness routines into our inpatient programs, morning mindfulness, physical activities like life skills workshops to help patients rebuild healthy habits, and they can continue this after discharge.
We also see many patients that obviously find challenges getting into your facilities. I think it's lack of education. It could also be cost, etc. Can you tell us accessibility, and has this been a norm in previous years, or you think that mental health and the focus has been changing, and both local and the private sectors making it more accessible?
Okay, so the biggest barriers is often stigma, cost, and limited access to specialists. Many people delay in seeking help until they're in crisis. So we're working on change that by offering helpline support and promoting early intervention.
Okay. And in terms of technology, I mean, I love looking at advancements in medicine because obviously we are changing medicine and the way we think about things. Can you tell us how is that actually creating more accessibility to mental health and care?
So technology can bridge the gap through online consultations, mental health apps, and helpfulness. It helps people in remote areas access professional care from the comfort of their homes.
Especially, if you have teenagers as well, there's different applications they can
Yes.
use. But I also feel that, schools should entrench programs on self-care tips and also try and help them to be better versions of themselves. What's your
Definitely.
opinion about that?
So, with schools, I feel that there need to be more guidance counselors in the schools. So if somebody needs help, they have somebody to go to, because sometimes children are going through a lot and they don't know who to speak to. So their first point of contact should actually be somebody at their school, or more especially somebody that they can trust.
And the matrics are writing exam, and we want to wish you all the best on behalf of Al Ansar. And it's important that you rest, you hydrate, you remain calm, and you just take care of your health and ensure that you are giving of your best. In terms of the goal of mental health and treatment and recovery, can you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. So both some conditions can be fully recovered from, while others require ongoing management. Our goal is to help patients live meaningful, productive lives regardless of diagnosis.
And in terms of our professionals that's listening today, how can they support patients in maintaining progress and preventing relapse?
So we as a facility, we equipped patients with coping strategies and relapse prevention plans. Follow-up care, support groups, and continued therapy sessions are key to maintaining sustainability.
So you guys have an outpatient therapy. So if they've admitted at your facility, you're saying they can revisit you and maintain
Yes.
therapy.
Yes, so we promote out of hospital follow ups with our doctors, with our psychologists, and with our OTs, just to make sure that patients are following the routine that has been started at Itheku.
Okay, that's fantastic to hear that you actually handhold your patient not only while they're admitted but beyond the journey as
Yes.
well. That's
Yes.
fantastic. In terms of mental health and the professionals and the treatment plans for different age groups, you spoke about the teenagers, etc. Can you elaborate a little bit about this? And we must not forget that we have our grandparents and the older generation. It's the anxiety, it's the mental health in terms of I've just been diagnosed with probably stage 4 cancer or other ailments. Do you guys deal with different categories of care in different age groups?
Yes, we do. So, as mentioned before, we do have the adolescent unit where we are able to take adolescents. So, adolescents being from the ages of 12 to 17, and then we also take adults, right? So, adolescents may need family involvement and creative therapy like art and group work, while adults may benefit more from structured therapy and stress management tools. We tailor communication and interventions to suit each age group's devel- devel- development develop, developmental needs. Sorry about that.
Not a problem. So, listeners, stay tuned. We are taking a short break, but when we back, we're going to be talking about more insightful conversations on mental health matters. Don't go anywhere. Our discussion is of importance. Keep listening, and we will be back shortly.
App us now on 060 904 1056.
Let's check Star's 11th birthday and you could be driving away in style. Spend just 350 Rand or more and stand a chance to win one of 3 brand new Hafal Chariot Pro SUVs. Don't miss your chance. Shop now, save big, and you could be our lucky winner. T's and C's apply. Check Star really cares.
Radio Al Ansar welcomes your feedback. If you have a broadcasting related complaint, please put it in writing and address it to the head of the complaints committee. Include your full name, contact details, a clear description of your complaint, and any supporting documents. You can email your complaint to feedback@alansar.org.za. That's feedback@alansar.org.za, or bring it in person to our Pietermaritzburg office at 240 Ortman Road, Willowton. Your input helps us serve you better.
Elevate your style with Almol kurtas and fragrances from Potent Ice Perfumes, exclusively available at Alansar Shop. Visit us at 207 West Road or call 031-208-1601. Experience the best in fashion and perfumery. Alansar Shop and elegance meets fragrance.
The Sunday Lounge with Salma Kadi Wahab. 10 to 12. Latest machine. Celebrity art station. Event. You and the sheet.
Doctors and guests on a medical files program will help you with any medical problems you have by giving you advice on air. However, they do not have your full medical history and they have not seen you. Please verify the advice given to you on air with your doctor who knows you better. Neither the doctors nor Radio Al Ansar will be held responsible for any ill health caused by the advice given on Radio Al Ansar.
I don't wanna wake up here. Someone help me carry.
You are listening to a live broadcast from Radio Al Ansar, Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
I will never leave my prayer. I know that you're always there. For every door that you close, you'll guide me to many more. So many ways you show me your love. I'm thankful for all that you've done. Alhamdulillah, for all that I have, for all that I lose, it still leads to you. For the nights that burn down, you're all I need now. My face meets the ground. Alhamdulillah, for all that I have, you still pull me through. For the nights that you're all I need now. Alhamdulillah. So many ways you show me your love. I'm thankful for all that you've done. ولكل حال الحمد لله for all that I have. You still pull me through for the nights that I'm down. You're all I need now. Alhamdulillah for all that I have, for all that I lose, still leads to you. The nights that I'm down, all I need now. Alhamdulillah, yeah. What will we do if Islam wasn't sent as a mercy? Where would we be if we never heard any of the prophets' journeys or without you? Allah, I would be so low, 'cause without love and God, my life would be torn apart. I wanna tell you, blessing me each day. Words can't describe what you've done for my life. Can't never complain. I wanna thank you, blessing me each day. Words can't describe what you've done for my life. Can never complain. What would we do? Clouds is red. When the sun goes down, would silence fill the air? Would we go best inside of the crescent moon? Without Islam, the days been way too soon. I wanna take for blessing me each day. Just can't describe what you done for my life. You never complain. I wanna thank for blessing me each day. Words can't describe what you done for my life. You never complain. Wanna thank Allah for blessing me each day. Words can't describe what you done for my life. Can never complain. I wanna thank
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the Pulse Show. And if you just tuned in, I'm your medical presenter, Shubnum Ismail, and today we're at the studio 240 Othman Road in Pietermaritzburg. We are 90.4 in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. And today we are discussing a very important topic since it's World Mental Health. And it's a very important topic in terms of physical health. And it's essential that we prioritize our mental well-being. And our guest here, Roxanne Rajaram, has been sharing valuable insights and strategies to help you, our listeners, maintain good well-being. So let's dive back and explore this critical topic further. Welcome to the show again, Roxanne. I know that we've been talking about where the patient can be in terms of your facility at Itheku, I think it's Itheku Wellness Center.
Yes.
So you've been obviously sharing your expertise from a therapy perspective and how you guys ensure the well-being is sustained during the treatment at your facility and beyond. In terms of your mental wellness, how do you cope with the obviously challenges of your work and travel and the pressure of society?
So, Shabnam, I think it's a balance. Finding a balance is very important, and we need to prioritize and see what's important to us, and just take it from there. So, my job, I love my job. I have a great support system that actually helps me do what I do to the best of my ability.
And how would a patient get admitted into your facility? What's the admission process?
Sure. So the admission process is very, very simple, listeners. So if you need to be admitted into Itheku Wellness Hospital, all you have to do is get a referral from your GP. If you do not have a GP and you feel, listen, I'm going through stress, I'm going through something that I really need to get help, we do have a doctor on site that can assist you. He is part of our MDT, which is our multidisciplinary team, and he can assist. So from the admission process, you start off with your referral from either your GP, your psychiatrist, your psychologist, even your social worker is able to refer you to the hospital. So once we get the referral letter, your bed is booked. Once your bed is booked, our team will get the pre-authorization from your medical aid. We will check all your benefits, make sure that there's nothing for you to stress about. Once everything has been confirmed, we will phone you and then you can come in. So once you come in, that's when your process with us starts. So from admission, you get admitted, you will get orientated into your ward. We will settle you in, and then therapy would start. So when I say therapy, I mean you would see your psychiatrist, you would see your psychologist, social worker if needed, and then you will start the inpatient OT program.
And can you tell our listeners what are some stress reduction techniques?
So it's depending on you, listeners, what you feel would reduce your stress. So if you feel that you love cooking, then go cook a meal. If you want to take a walk, then take a walk. And if you feel that, listen, I'm doing all of these things and the stress is still piling up and I cannot manage, then it's time to get in contact with Itheku Wellness Hospital and let us assist you in the management of your
I know
stress.
earlier on you were talking about all the programs you're running this month, and obviously they're very exciting. Would you like to share some of those initiatives and programs? So if our listeners are in the Durban area or Pietermaritzburg, they probably can visit you in some of those centers.
So with Itheku Wellness Hospital, community outreach is very, very important. So during the month of October, we hosted a few events at the hospital. We still have one upcoming event, which is normally a doctor's breakfast that we host at the hospital. So we allow professionals to come in, see the facility, and also get a feel of, listen, if I'm going to admit my patient, this is where my patient is going to be. We also do wellness programs at corporate companies. So if you're listening from a corporate company and if you need, listen, my staff need education about mental health, we've got a team that goes out and does staff corporate wellness days as well.
Speaking about corporate wellness, I mean, what you put into your staff, you get out in the business strategy of your, obviously, your customers. I feel this is so important and essential, and we probably got some corporate managers and HR managers listening to the show today. Can you actually give them more insight as what they can do behind the scenes to effectively manage their staff and maintain good mental wellness?
Most definitely, Shubnum. Sometimes with HR, you actually look at a pattern. And if you say, listen, this person is not coming on a certain day, it's obviously the first thing that we think of, okay, this person has got a problem, whether it's substance or whether it's anything, but we don't go into the problem itself. We're so quick to have a stigma attached to the person, and we're so quick to self-diagnose the staff member. And I feel that HR plays a very important role in getting to know their staff. And if staff are not there, find out, listen, what's going on. Find out, listen, let them know that this is a safe space that they can speak. And also from a company point of view, we are here to help you. And I think that's the most important thing, is that when you're in a company, you need to feel that you are valued And you also need to feel that if I have a problem, I'm able to speak to my line manager, and they're actually going to take me seriously, and they're actually going to action or something, some positive is going to come out of it.
Absolutely. And I can hear how passionate you are about delivering such great work to the public and helping, giving back the gift of life. And that's important to the medical professionals to sustain morbidity and mortality. In terms of your job, I mean, obviously, what's the best part of your job? Going to work every day, what would you enjoy?
So, Shubnum, being in the industry for such a long time, you see so much, and the best part of my job is I sit right in the front. So when the patients come in, I see the patients being emotional. I see the patients not wanting to be admitted, the fear of the unknown. Because when you say mental health, people think we're putting you in a room and we're locking the door. But that's not the case. Private mental health, public mental health has changed and it has evolved. So when the patient comes in, I see the patient being at their lowest, being broken. And when I see that patient leaving, during the journey at the hospital, I interact with my patients. I see the progress that the patients make, where somebody that's coming crying is now smiling, is now laughing. And it brings such joy to me to see that patient leaving completely changed by what the hospital has actually offered that patient.
Yes. And lots of patients get diagnosed with different disabilities on a daily basis. I mean, from having amputations and, different ailments. So you obviously deal with trauma care, and we recently celebrated World Trauma Day. So can you elaborate on patients that's coming in just to actually feel good about themselves, and what services you offer for those patients?
So, as mentioned before, we do have a program that's run by our occupational therapist. So it's a fully fledged program. It's a 2-week program that we run, and in that program, it deals with everything. So if you have financial problems, we deal with that. If you have burnout, we deal with that. If you're experiencing grief, each patient has a tailor-made program to deal with what they are going through. So when the patient leaves, they are equipped to deal with what's coming.
In terms of advancements in mental health and research, can you tell us what treatments you are excited about, and how can they improve patient outcomes?
So we're excited about the growing So we're excited about the growing integration of the neuroscience and technology in treatment, such as digital cognitive therapy tools and neurofeedback. There's also a shift towards community-based care, which means more people can get help earlier before reaching crisis point.
Absolutely. To our listeners, it's very important. We're covering a topic today that's also very close to my heart on mental health and wellness. Don't wait when it's too late. There's resources, there's institutions, there's people that care for people that can help you. Listeners, thank you for tuning into today's discussion on mental health. Remember, mental health matters, and it's okay to talk about it. If you're struggling, don't hesitate to reach out to a mutual friend, a family member, or even a healthcare professional. Roxanne, thank you for joining us on the show. Can you please tell us any final parting words to our listeners? And I believe that you do have some incentives at your organization that you like to share during this month.
Yes. So, listeners, I would just like to say that Itheku Wellness Hospital cares about the community, and part of October being mental health month, we at Itheku Hospital would like to give back to the community. So I hope you have your pens and papers ready to take down this information. So what we are doing from October to December is we would like to give back to the community by offering pro bono admissions into the hospital. So if you are aged between the ages of 12 and 20, if you do not have a medical aid, or your funds for mental health has been depleted, and if you are willing to be admitted at Itheku Wellness Hospital, please send me an email. My email address is Roxanne, spelled Roxanne. I'll repeat, Roxanne, Roxanne, at Itheku Hospital, which is ITHEKU HOSPITAL We would love to hear from you. We would love for you to be admitted, be part of the program, and so your journey with us can start.
Listeners, the show is obviously to care for you, to give back to the community. And speaking about giving back to the community, Pietermaritzburg is having a public wellness day at one of our local clinics that is in the Northdale area, the Bangla Road Clinic. It is from 8 till 3 o'clock today. So please direct to pop in there. They have services such as HIV, diabetes and hypertension screening, baby clinic, pap smears, family planning. This is in line of the commitment to improve access to healthcare for our community. To our technicians, Asif and MK, it's been amazing connecting to the community. Please, our listeners, travel safe, hydrate. It's very warm weather out there. We would love to hear from you. Please keep us informed and let us know what medical topics you'd like us to outlay for the upcoming Saturdays. Take care of your mind and take care of yourself. Until next time, shukran for listening to the Pulse Show. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alansar, Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
I'm steady praying in the night, and I'm staying focused on the prize. All I'm thinking about is paradise. It's only Jannah, I got my eyes on. Peace is the only thing I want. And so I call out, oh Allah, Allahumma Jannah, I got my eyes on. Peace is the only thing I want. And so I call out, oh Allah.
Doctors and guests on a medical files program will help you with any medical problems you have by giving you advice on air. However, they do not have your full medical history and they have not seen you. Please verify the advice given to you on air with your doctor who knows you better. Neither the doctors nor Radio Al-Ansar will be held responsible for any ill health caused by the advice given on Radio Al-Ansar.
Radio Alansar, 24/7, 365.
An informative Islamic global perspective. This is Al-Ansar News.
Making news at 10, frustration and despair echoed through a church in Hillary, south of Durban last week, as residents from Mount Vernon and Memorial Park engaged directly with representatives from the Itheku municipality. Good morning, I'm Tabila Duma. Frustration and despair echoed through a church in Hillary, south of Durban last week, as residents from Mount Vernon and Memorial Park engaged directly with representatives from the Itheku municipality.